What would be the funniest song that Kendrick could do at the Super Bowl? I think the obvious choice is I'm in the club. Like, obviously that would be kind of funny. I feel like there's got to be something funnier than that, though. No makeup would be kind of funny. It would be funny if all he did was rigor mortis and just super out of breath. Oh, if he does God, that would be pretty. That's what coffee like. Hey, don't know how we shop like what? If he did that, that's probably the funniest. If Kendrick does God at the Super Bowl, I will be very, very happy. Hello, hi there. Welcome to a new series I'm starting called Show and Tell. You've been to Show and Tell before, I assume, when you were a child. It's where somebody brings something to share with the class, and I guess that makes you the class. So today, for Show and Tell, I'll be showing you some pictures from January in my camera roll. I'll be telling you the story behind the picture, you know, telling you a little bit about my month. Without any further ado,
let's go.
I guess let's get into it. Yeah, this is a picture of my dad at the Seattle Art Museum. We went to the Seattle Art Museum like right after the new year. And we saw this exhibit on the artist Joyce J. Scott. I had never heard of her prior to this, but I absolutely fell in love with her work. My whole family did. We all really, really loved it. This is a picture of him looking at, I think this was his favorite piece. It's one of my favorite pieces too, but she is an artist. She does like a lot of stuff. She does like bead work. She does stuff with like textiles, like with weaving. Really, really cool. Really funny. Very poignant as well. That was a great way to start the new year with a new favorite artist. So shout out to Joyce J. Scott. She's amazing. Moving on, second picture. Okay. This is this meme that I saw, the yin yang symbol. And on the white side, it says, "We're so back." And on the black side, it says, "It's so over." In the white side that is black, it says, "It's over." The white dot on the black side says, "We're back." The line between the two sides says, on the white it says, "It never began." On the black it says, "It'll never end." And then further zoomed in to the line between the line, where it's essentially a gradient between those two colors, it says, "It just is." It's hard to explain what this meme means to me. This is like a visual representation of like radical acceptance, which is a belief system that I believe in. So yeah, I'm like radically accepting this meme. I think it's a good one. Dichotomy of yo-yoing in between us being so back and it being so over. It's super real. All right, let's move along to our next image here. This is a picture of me, if you couldn't tell. I had my hair braided for my birthday last year. I took my braids out. Then I put my hair in this hairstyle. The reason I took this picture is because I feel like I look like George Washington. It's giving founding father, I want to say. It's giving chop down a cherry tree, never tell a lie. It's giving, I was going to say something about that man's teeth, but I will refrain. But yeah, two guys. I was going to say two cool guys. One cool guy. Two guys, one of them cool, one of them not, and one cool hairstyle that they both have. And let me know in the comments who wore it better. I kind of think I wore it better. I think I'm kind of eating George up with this picture, but let me know. I could be delusional.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
You never know. Let's go on to our next picture. This is a picture of me at the El Paso International Airport, standing in front of my rental car. When I got to the El Paso International Airport, I was going to rent my car. The woman at the kiosk was like, "You can have a truck, a minivan, or an electric car." And I said, "Are those the only options?" And she said, "Yes, those are the only options." And I said, "Why?" And then she's like, "Because it's a mystery car." So I took the minivan, of course. I was on a trip by myself, but I'm always driving around my family of 6 in my mind. So this was great because I had room for me and all the kids. I'm realizing that you probably don't know me if you're watching this. I don't have children. I do not. But yeah, I had a minivan, a great car, hybrid, which was fun. But I had a great time. Shout out to Marfa. Shout out to, can I say that? Shout out to Marfa. Let's say that for now. But if you're watching this and you know I was there, you know I was there. Wink, wink. All right, moving right along. Okay, this is another Texas picture. Here I am wearing a cowboy hat.
YEEHAW.
I bought this cowboy hat. It's sitting right there. You can't see it, it's off camera, but it's sitting just right over there. They put the mirror in a good spot because behind me are all the Stetson hats, which are the expensive ones, and this hat is not one of those. This mirror has like a lot of rivets and leather all over it, which is pretty fun. I've never really seen a mirror with so many rivets on it and so much leather on it. Personally, I think I'm eating up this cowboy hat. I think I'm really pulling it off. And I have worn it once since getting back to LA. I plan to wear it more. Where am I gonna wear it? It's hard to say, but I certainly plan to wear it. I think it's going to be a part of me now. I went to Texas for 2 days, so I had to get a cowboy hat. I wanted to get a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and a big belt buckle. And I only could land on the cowboy hat for now. That's all I have. All right, next picture. So this is a fun picture because side by side here, we have me from like a few days ago and then me from like 10 years ago. Wow. The picture on the right is me in like 2015. I'm wearing a sweatshirt that has a bunch of food all over it. It's got like pizza, bacon, donuts. I think there's a fried egg on there. But yeah, I thought this was a funny picture because a lot has changed. You should see my driver's license. This is kind of how different I look from my driver's license picture. The driver's license picture, I have no facial hair at all. And this picture is actually, I believe, when I started growing my beard. Not that it takes 10 years to get this long, but I think that this is from the summer when I started growing it out. So that's pretty fun. That's all the pictures I have. Final thoughts, closing thoughts. For me, this was a month about kind of like recentering and refocusing on myself, which was nice. I think that it was a good month. I think the trip to Texas was a lot of fun. I also took a trip to the Bay Area, slightly unplanned, but I did do that. And yeah, I think if I have any goals for next month, take more funny pictures, obviously. And I have a few creative projects I'm working on. Want to get further in those. And then I'm also taking another trip to Cabo. So those were all of my favorite pictures from this January. My name is Stefan. This has been Show and Tell episode 1. If you liked this episode, there's going to be one every month. And at the end of the year, hey, maybe I'll do like a year in review episode where I go over the best pictures from each episode. That could be fun. And if you like that idea, maybe you should subscribe so you make sure that you can see it. Thanks again for watching. My name is Stefan. This has been Show and Tell episode 1. Let's have a good February. I'll see you then. Peace.